Just giving a second for the room to populate. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the day two of the Sidoti conference. My name is Ashisha, and I'm an analyst here at Sidoti. With me today, I have SafeSpace Global Corp. It trades under the ticker SSGC. I'm happy to welcome Scott Boroff, the CEO, and Dustin Hills, President and Chief Strategy Officer at the company. We have about 30 minutes today, including the Q&A. So I request everybody, if you have any questions, please submit them at the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen. With that, Dustin, I will let you take over.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for being here. Starting off with SafeSpace, our name is an interesting story. We started off as Healthcare Integrated Technologies, and when I met Scott Boroff, CEO and chairman, we were focused on senior living, healthcare, and Scott had been investing his own money building out the R&D for many years prior to changing our name to SafeSpace. Last year, we went through a FINRA-approved name change, which is about as fun as a colonoscopy, and we now have our stock ticker as SSGC, moving from the stock ticker of HITC. Here's our very long forward-looking statement. So we'll give you about an hour to read that some other time. And our mission and our vision and our values is what drives us. My favorite podcast is the All In podcast. My favorite speaker is David Sachs. And what he often talks about is, are we in an AI bubble? And I think we are, just like the dot-com bubble. And what David Sachs says is that really the people that are going to make it through this AI race that everybody knows that we're in are the people that are solving the biggest problems and integrating AI into solutions where the rubber's meeting the road and it's physically something that's working. Every time I hear that, I call Scott and say, man, we are so in the right niche of taking AI-powered physical safety as our platform. Our vision is to be the global leader in applied multimodal AI technology. So what that means to us is we're camera agnostic, GPU agnostic, and we're a safe core box that you're able to plug into schools and senior living and adapt any other hardware into it and upgrade throughout the years. Our mission is simple, is we help save lives. So we are focused on training the most powerful tool that's ever been created, AI, to help protect the most vulnerable populations. We're starting with children and elderly care people with schools and senior living. Our core values are what drives us and how we make decisions as an executive team. We believe customers come first, technology that matters, integrity, doing what we say we're going to do, and having fun, increasing value. Our executive team is comprised of Scott Boroff, our CEO and chairman of the board. Scott spent 30 years on Wall Street. He has also managed a real estate hedge fund. He raised over $1 billion while there on Wall Street. He rang the bell at the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ and plans on doing that again here at SafeSpace Global Corporation. Myself, I'm the president and chief strategy officer. I spent 20 years at the Southwestern family of companies. My last 4 years of those 20 years, I was promoted to CEO of the global conglomerate, which meant I had 20 companies directly reporting to me as the CEO. I helped grow the revenue from 85 million to 135 million, and the profit from a loss of 1 million to a profit of 15 million during my time as CEO at Southwestern. Anand is our CTO. Anand's background, him, his brother, and a few partners started a company called Pro Karma. Pro Karma ended up getting sold a few times. The last time it was valued at $1.6 billion. Anand was in charge of ramping up the tech teams, mainly in India, and the programmers that were supporting Fortune 500 companies. He's our chief architect for all of our AI products and also manages our India office. Pete Coulter is our CIO. His background was he sold his company to Procter & Gamble. Procter& Gamble realized he was the brains behind the operation, so they made him one of their CTOs. I recruited Pete away from Procter& Gamble when I was at Southwestern, and he was my CTO in charge of 20 companies' IT departments. Sean is our VP of AI technical delivery. We recruited him away from Amazon, and he was in charge of product delivery for Twitch at Amazon. Prior to that, he had a decade at Google. His claim to fame at Google was they gave him the problem of when they acquired YouTube, and YouTube was being used inside schools, and there were terrorists killing people on YouTube. They had him solve that problem, and he did, and they promoted him to a senior executive at Google. So as you can see, the executive team here is built to support a $1 billion company, and that's what we plan on doing. Over the past 18 months, it started off with Scott personally investing, bootstrapping the company, hiring me. I did a 3-month audit. Back in August of 2024, the stock was trading at around 6 cents. We then did a friends and family round. We raised $10 million at 10 cents and 12 cents. We then deployed that $10 million over the past year with hiring a new CTO, opening up an office in India, and having over 40 AI engineers that have built our products. We have over 70 team members that we hired, and we focused heavily on strategic partnerships. So those strategic partnerships include 911 Inform, which is the 800-pound gorilla with incident management within schools. They're currently in 700 schools, 14,000 buildings, and we are integrated as the front end AI detection of their back end, locking the schools down, calling 911, routing the police officers to the school for the 700 schools that they're already in. BMRT is a strategic partner. We have an LOI for the exclusive with them for schools and correctional facilities. Base molecular resonance technology is what BMRT stands for. And it's a 1-for-1 technology that's a Teslinian technology that they have over 20 patents on that can detect a weapon at distance that is concealed. So in other words, it can detect an AR-15 fully loaded inside of a car from 500 feet away. So we will be using this to build a perimeter around schools that we will know that there is a weapon inside of a car that will then trigger our AI to do a license plate reader, facial recognition, human in the loop, which will then detect if it's a threat to lock the school down, route 911 to the incident before the incident ever happens. This truly will be a comprehensive solution that will stop school shootings. SAS Halo is also a strategic partner we have an LOI with. They have the contract with the AEPA, which is the Association of Education Purchasing Agents, that has over 10,000 schools in their network that we will be walking into through that channel partner. We currently have products launched live. As of February of this year, we now have 15 new contracts signed in 8 locations installed. We have 2 use cases that are working live with elopement prevention and weapons detection. So a summary over the past 18 months is we raised $10 million. We have live products in the market where we've launched 4 verticals. We have 15 new contracts with Signature Healthcare, Wayman Place, and Clearview. We have 40 plus AI engineers with our team in India. And we have the schools and senior living facilities with a large pipeline built that we'll walk through here in just a second. There is a video that we can watch, but due to time constraints, we're actually going to put the link to our YouTube channel in the chat. And if Carmel could go ahead and do that, we'd like for everybody just to click on that link and save it on your computer. And you can watch our product demonstration video or overview video for senior living. There's also a video coming up here in a minute for schools, and there's also a really good investor video that's available on YouTube. Our products that are live in the market is elopement detection AI. So what that means is if it's somebody like my grandmother who currently has dementia and is in a senior living facility, and when you go visit her, she says, I think I'm going to go eat lunch at Cracker Barrel today. And I'm like, Grandma, that's probably not a good idea. And she's a crafty little thing. She actually will try to get out to go to lunch at Cracker Barrel. Our elopement detection uses facial recognition to enable somebody like my grandmother to be able to retire with dignity and stay safe. We currently have this working in 4 locations with Signature Healthcare and is getting installed across the 15 different locations that we have as we speak. We also have investigation AI live. So what that means is we actually have a testimonial of a CNO named Barbara, Chief Nursing Officer of Signature Healthcare, who says what used to take her 8 hours for an investigation now takes 8 minutes, and it's saving time and saving lives. Our biggest competitor in this product line is called WonderGuard. And this is a side-by-side comparison of the SafeSpace Wonder Protection versus WonderGuard. So ours is facial recognition instead of a wearable device. We use real-time AI detection. We have investigation modules integrated into it. We have government grants that are eligible to pay for it, and our price point is better. Plus, it's scalable with multi-vertical AI. We discovered that there was actually a restriction stopping senior living facilities last year from using AI to help save lives. We put on our ties, we flew to Washington, D.C., and asked Senator Marsha Blackburn to get us in front of Dr. Oz. She said, Dustin and Scott, do you realize it's easier to meet Donald Trump than it is to meet Dr. Oz? And we said, well, we don't need to meet President Trump, but we do need to meet Dr. Oz. So a couple of days later, she made it happen. We met with him. He put us with his team at the CMS, and we actually got the restriction removed, which stopped AI from being able to access government money to save lives. So what that means is there is now access to the CMP Civil Monetary Penalty Reinvestment Initiative for $194.9 million in that government grant pool. We have already submitted 4.68 million of that across 11 different states to put our products into senior living facilities to help save lives. On the school side, there's 130,000 schools in the US. They're spending 3.5 billion on school safety. Now that does include the security officers as well as the technology, but there is significant resources being spent in school safety markets. We have the AEPA access to the national co-op with 10,000 schools that we're currently going into, along with 700 schools that we have access through the 911 Inform. So our competitive landscape with school AI, the biggest competitor is Zero Eyes that does gun detection only and has a higher price point than our offering. Evolve, which is physical weapon detection, think of it like metal detectors. Safer Watch, and then SafeSpace, which does weapons detection with facial recognition, multimodal approach. We plan in the next 3 years to capture most of this market through our channel partners as well as our strategic partners with the multimodal technology. This is another video that you can watch on your own that really goes into more detail of how our weapons detection works with schools. Recently, we met with Senate Majority Leader Jack Johnson to propose to him making it a statewide mandate in the state of Tennessee, following the lead of Georgia to do weapons detection in public schools. He agreed it's a great idea. He said he'll be working it into the budget for next year. And the good news is the person that approves the budget is the future governor of Tennessee at the end of January, beginning of February next year. And we believe that will be Senator Marsha Blackburn, soon to be Governor Marsha Blackburn, who we are very closely aligned with. So we believe that through statewide mandates, channel partners like 911 Inform and SAS Halo, Having a unique selling proposition with concealed weapons detection with a one-for-one technology with BMRT that we truly can have most of the market share with school safety and solve the problem of school shootings. What this looks like financially is by the end of financial year 2029, we would have 145 million in revenue. And if you compare this to our competitors like Evolve, who also has 145 million in revenue, you can see that there's a range of the multiples on their valuation. With us being in four different verticals, AI native, SaaS reoccurring revenue, we have channel partners to scale, and we have government reimbursable money available. We think that we could contend with any of these other competitor multiples with zero eyes and uh, the like. So if you took the revenue with those multiples, it's a 1.45 billion valuation onwards up to 3 billion and beyond. So what that looks like short term is we will be raising 10 to 15 million, and we believe that this would take us to improve the path of our EBITDA and also the integrations that we just mentioned, extending our runway. We are hiring a full-time CFO in the very short term future. We have active channel partners with multiple revenue streams going online right now. We're driving positive EBITDA, starting from pre-revenue to revenue as of February of this year, and we are building long-term enterprise value right now. So the summary is our total addressable market across all four of our verticals is 13.9 billion. Our current cash position as of January 31st is 3.9 million. We have zero debt. Plus, we have no new investor capital anticipated after 2028, with us having our target of hitting cash flow neutral within 18 months. And our target EBITDA is 34%. So the breakdown of revenue is, we believe, financial year 2027 is 16.2 million, and we just showed you on how we were going to get there, both in senior living and schools through the government grants and the channel partners, plus our direct sales team. On top of that, we would continue to scale 2028 to 59.7 million, and then 2029, 145.5 million. This will be through schools, through the channel partners, senior living, with the technology we already were mentioning with the elopement prevention as well as investigations. Correctional facilities, we have use cases currently built out for correctional facilities, and will be in other verticals as well. So here's a breakdown of the financials: schools, prisons, senior living, ground, transportation, retail. You can see that we are still in investment mode and quickly ramping out of that from the EBITDA perspective. We are raising a friends and family round currently, and expect that to be through investment mode in financial year 2027 as our inflection point, and quickly going to high profitability of 20.5 million. Then this is what the cash position should look like versus investor proceeds. So as of now, the last Q, we had 3.97 million cash on the books. 2027, we're looking to have 7.86 million, growing to 28.4 up to 76.7. So we are currently doing a friends and family round. So we're raising $6 million at a 20 cents per share lock-in for 24 months. And it's a $100,000 minimum. And we're actively looking to close that out as soon as possible. So we have soft circles with up to 3 million, and we would like to knock that out as soon as possible. So anybody listening, feel free to reach out to me or Scott if that's something that's in your business model, and that's something that interests you. And we are to the Q&A. So I will stop sharing and open it up for questions.
Thank you so much for the presentation, Dustin. And at this time, I would like to request anybody in the audience, if you have any questions, please submit them at the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen. Touched a few questions on the product and technology. Can you explain how the multimodal AI platform works and how it is different from traditional surveillance?
Yes. So, traditional surveillance, if you go to these schools or correctional facilities, they're looking at monitors and they're hiring SROs, security resource officers, to watch the screen. So imagine that our AI it's in a safe core box that goes physically on perimeter with the school, and they're plugging their cameras into it, which is making a dumb camera smart. So we're using facial recognition, object detection. So if you see a weapon, it's alerting the human in the loop through a text message saying there's a gun on the school that then triggers our incident management partner that locks the school down and calls 911 versus having to use a human watching a camera trying to see a weapon on a camera.
Right. And how do you manage the false positives and how accurate is the detection system today?
Great question. The reason we had to make the investment to add a human in the loop is to make sure that we have the highest level of accuracy possible. So, Zero Eyes is the 800-pound gorilla, our biggest competitor, and they also use a human in the loop. So, we feel that using a human in the loop, in addition to us having the weapons detection with facial recognition, with license plate readers, which makes it multimodal, actually makes it even better. But you do need a human in the loop right now. Before you lock a school down, you could imagine a false positive would have very negative consequences. So we do have a human in the loop in our business model right now.
Got it. And how much of the technology stack is proprietary versus third-party infrastructure?
We invested significantly in our team in India and have built our code. Now, of course, there's elements of it, much like building a car. Imagine you're building a Tesla car. There's the proprietary parts of what Elon Musk would protect as their secret sauce. But when it comes to tires and doors, they're probably buying them from companies that already do that.
Right.
So we're just like every other company where not every single thing is proprietary, but the most important things, the secret sauce of the integration, is where our proprietary information lies that we own, and it's our code, our AI, and our models that we have built.
Great. Moving to commercialization and go-to-market questions, what is the dollar size of a typical contract for a school and a senior living facility?
What is the model? Can you ask that question again? Can you say that
What is
again?
the dollar size, like usual amount of a contract when you, like for a typical contract for a school and a senior living facility, and how do they compare?
Yeah, great question. We were just looking through that today. It does range on the size. So typically you're looking at like a smaller facility paying $5,000 up front for the installation and our Safe Core box. Then it's a monthly charge. So it ranges from $50 on down to $30 per camera per month. So a larger facility with, say, 200 plus cameras could be as low as $30 per camera per month. But if it's 20 cameras, then you're looking at between $40 and $50 per camera per month. And it's a 36-month contract. So 36 months contract. Yeah, and it's a per stream price point with 5,000 starting, and it goes on up. So it's 5,000, 7,500, 10,000 based on the number of cameras that you need and the number of streams.
Right. And what is the market that you're most excited about? And can you walk us through how a school system works once a threat is identified? Like, does it lock doors or alert security on premise or the local police department? How does it work?
Now that's not a fair question because that's like asking which kid is your favorite kid. So and we debate this all the time. Scott and I actually have an active bet on which one's going to be more revenue between senior living and schools, and one of us think one thing and the other thinks the other, and it's so hard to tell because the government grant money that's unlocked, that $194 million that's available, is so significant, and we have the best solution with elopement prevention. It saves the senior living facilities money by preventing these elopements. They get charged big time fines every time there's an elopement. So they are very motivated to stop these elopements from happening. and we have the best solution on the market for that. And there's $194 million available through government grants to pay for it. But the school, the school problem is such a big problem, and anybody who has a kid knows that this is a problem. So, when I pick up my 14-year-old daughter from school and she tells me about the active shooter drill they did that day, it breaks my heart that that's a reality here in America. When we have the technology to stop it, it also is frustrating when school administrators don't buy the solution because they're trying to save money. So we feel mandating this solution top down statewide is what is going to have to happen. And we're doing it. We have the political power to do it. We have the motivation to do it. We have the resources to do it. So we're gonna, whether they want it or not, we will protect our kids.
Right. And what does the sales cycle typically look like for a new customer, and how do you go to the market like what is the go to market strategy, and is it different by client vertical?
The go-to-market strategy is different by client vertical. We have a multi-tiered approach. So number one, our channel partners are very significant. So you think SaaS Halo with the AEPA, the Association of Education Purchasing Agents, 10,000 schools that we immediately have access to. Think of it like we're in the J.C. Penney's or the old school Sears catalog. I might be dating myself with saying that. But we're pre-approved for them to purchase through the AEPA and our partnership with SaaS Halo that we have an LOI with. Now, 911 Inform is already in 700 schools, and they're able to walk us into paying clients that they already have as a channel partner. Additionally, we have just an amazing sales team, so we're directly calling schools and working referrals, and we are very highly trained salespeople. And I would say building sales teams is a strength of ours on going direct. And then we have our statewide initiatives. So going top down with statewide initiatives. So I think between the channel partners, direct sales, and statewide initiatives is how we're going to get to the numbers that I shared today.
Right. And one of the questions is on the guidance. As you look at the year guidance for 145 million in revenue, what is the percentage of it being in school versus assisted living? And does it include anything from the prisons or no? Not yet.
Yeah, so I quickly had a slide on that. I'll pull it back up here.
Yeah.
It is right here. Do you want me to share that with you or just say it?
Either works fine.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see if I can share it. Share, share, share. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, so here's the breakdown of revenue per vertical over the next 3-4 years. So you
Okay.
can see by 2029, it'll be 60 million in schools, 33 million prisons, 47 million senior living, under a million ground transportation, 3.8 million retail, and then, just other incomes right there.
Right. And while we're on this slide, can you walk us through how do you think investors should think about the company's path towards scaling recurring revenue?
I think that when I personally invest, and I do a lot of investments, in a variety of different sectors, I'm always investing on the jockey versus the horse. So I think everybody going to LinkedIn and looking at me and Scott and our entire executive team and see, do we have a track record of actually delivering, which we do. So I think you would say, does this team have what it takes to build $1 billion company? And Scott and I are very aligned. We've already built $100 million companies and managed $100 million companies, and we both want to go to $1 billion. And we're very motivated. We're very passionate. We're very committed. We're personally the number one, number two investors on the cap table. So I'm the number two shareholder, and Scott's the number one shareholder. So you have two leaders that are personally invested with their own money, with their time and money to see this thing through.
Right. It is certainly an exciting time for your company. I'd just like to end by asking if you can sum up the value proposition for investors who might be looking across this sector. That'd be great.
Yeah, in summary, I think that the people that are the best investors in us are the ones that are in alignment of why we have 50 plus team members now that all believe in the same mission. So we believe AI technology is the most powerful technology that's ever been created. We believe that we need to use that technology to help protect the most vulnerable population. And we believe that the people that are training the AI technology and models now really will matter into the future. And every day, our team is dedicated to training AI to help save lives. And we feel if we can make AI's core value in alignment with our human core value to help save lives, that not only can it, in the short term, literally save lives with school shootings and senior living, but ultimately, who knows where this could expand to helping AI to have values that are in alignment with humans. And so, while we do believe in a great return and all the numbers we shared with you, we wholeheartedly believe we will do, including the uplisting to the New York Stock Exchange. That's not why we're doing it. We're doing it to truly solve this problem, and we will see this through.
Great. Thank you so much for your time today, Justin, and thank you for doing the presentation. Thank you for joining us, Scott. And everybody in the audience, thank you for joining us and spending your time with us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.